That's the combined of all three, isn't it?
Yeah.
And the water bill was,
$800.
Whatever it was.
$800 still, yeah.
800.
they probably
They probably just
put
didn't
water
pay it
on
for
yeah.
the 2 years they were there or whatever.
Yeah,
But still,
Yeah.
we gotta somehow come up, we've been talking about it for years. There's gotta be a stopgap
Cut off
somewhere.
or something.
Gotta be.
Dan, do you have anything?
Jerry, who owns the property right now?
Mr. Staton, I believe her name is reverted.
But you're
They reverted back. Yeah.
right,
Well,
because there was a default. So when you establish the land contract, you're gonna hold on to those rights until somebody meets the requirements of the purchase agreement. So it might have been hers, but ultimately, the woman who owned the property, to me, is responsible until the land contract is paid in full, because ultimately, it would revert back to her if that contract isn't fulfilled. So the city's gotta hold her responsible for paying what's due on that property, and then I guarantee you, she's going after the Christian somehow and suing them for breach or violation or something. So to me, this is an issue between her and her tenants, not between her and the city of Taylor.
I agree with you, but after what Jerry just said, Michigan state law disagrees with you.
I'm not hearing that. I'm not interpreting that.
Okay.
Anything I will, Councilman and Chairman, I will reach out to Dave Greco, he's my immediate
Okay, yeah.
contact with the city. Ask him, tell him what's going on.
Yeah, to hear what he has
Give
to
him
say.
the council's question, and my understanding of the question is, who has liability for
Who's responsible
for these
Right.
charges when there's a land contract actually in
Right.
play?
You can email them, just copy us all, and maybe you can respond, so we can all.
I sure will.
Yeah.
Okay, no, thank you.
Okay, is there any other questions on 13? Item 14, a motion to approve a settlement agreement between the City of Taylor and GLWA. The settlement amount is $18,865.32, credit in wholesale rates. Mr. Bob.
Yes, we had a fluctuation in water pressure, which created 7 water main breaks from Great Lakes Water Authority. And after that happened, reviewed the contract, and they went over our contract amount as they have a maximum and minimum amount of pressure that they're supposed to supply. They went over by a couple pounds of pressure, and we submitted a claim, and they paid the whole claim in full. And I want to tell you, all the years I've been doing this, 30 plus years, the first time I've seen them pay a claim out without, they didn't even question it. They paid the whole entire amount.
So we're actually getting the money.
Yes, well, we're not gonna get a check. What they're gonna do is credit us on our sale rates, but it's still the same. I mean, that's money we don't have to pay them, so this is a good thing. I do have to say, though, I was dealing with Detroit Water at the time, the Great Lakes, they're a new entity. They leased the Detroit Water plant, and we did, like I said, they made a claim, they didn't even question it.
We're good, we just obviously $800 in the last one, so everybody pays for that.
Is there any questions on that one? All right, number 15 is a motion to approve Carra Outdoors current vendor for the amount not to exceed $172,639 for crack and joint sealing, funded from Act 51 Local Roads. Mr. Bob?
Yeah, this is just for joint crack sealing. We went up bid last year. It's a new contract. And we expended all the funds we had in there last year. And a lot of these funds that we're going through that you're going to see even moving forward on the agenda is we had some money come from the state of Michigan under the Act 51 that we weren't really planning on getting. We got 2 different checks for over $300,000 of additional funding for the not underestimating extra money that they had. And it also doesn't go towards your 50% transfer. You can use it wherever you want, local or major roads. So we got some extra funding, so we're trying to do some extra road work.
I have one. Sure. Can I get a copy of the bid since I wasn't here in this amount? Probably that.
Yeah, I think that I can get that from Richard with the cars.
Is there any other questions?
I think they were the only bidder, if I'm not mistaken. You remember, Jason? I think we may have only had one bid on it, but we did one bid.
Number 16 is a motion to approve Al's Asphalt for the amount of $172,000 for construction of Northwest Park Path and water CRMs. Funds provided from Act51 Local Roads Non-Motorized Improvements and Water Department. Mr. Bach.
Yeah, just what it says. I mean, we're going to be putting a walking path in Northwest Park, and
Here's
there are
the
some.
you guys can look at.
There are some improvements, over the wintertime, we had a bunch of water main breaks, and we're doing a new process. We're trying to get to them as soon as possible in the spring, so people who have their front, lawns, driveways, the sidewalks, busted up, and we're gonna fix them as soon as possible. So these are, funds for doing those repairs, and for, the pathway in Northwest Park.
Is there any questions? Item 17 is motion to approve additional funding to Great Lakes Contracting for road repairs in the amount of $785,531. Funds provided from Act51 Local Roads and Water. Mr. Bach.
Once again, this is the same thing. We have some water CRM repairs. I think somewhere in the range of $90,000 just for CRM repairs. And those are catch basins, roads with big potholes, water breaks, and some additional funding for road repairs.
Okay, but some of this, like you just told me earlier, a large portion of this is stuff that we had over.
Well, we still have 500 and some odd $1,000 left in a blanket PO for Great Lakes to do road repairs, and we provided the council a list during the budget process, and I think there was 5 roads that we haven't got to yet, and it adds up to be $700,000, 700 change. So there's an additional 129,000 going into that balance that we already have to complete all 5 of those roads. We were only, out of all the road work we did last year, including, like the goods and greats, we were only 129 short of finishing all the 5 roads that we provided that list to you for. And this will complete those plus additional roads that we have slated to get done.
Is this one of the existing contractors, or did we quote this out, or have it bid out, or is this just one of the existing of the 3?
This is a contract that that this council gave a year extension on. I think it was over the winter time. The contract expired in December, and we did a 1-year extension, which expires in December of this year. And we do have another year extension left on it, but we're not going to exercise that. We're going to go out to bid after December for a new concrete contract. But we do have an extension, so it's an existing contract that we have. And it's a unit price contract. It doesn't, when we went and bid it out, it didn't have specific roads in it. We asked for unit pricing and how much it costs to do various unit pricing.
So
So,
are you currently putting together an RFP for this bid, because it's a rather large bid for the city? Rather, some kind of an RFP or a bid, package purchasing, to put out to request quotes for this at the end of the year? Are you putting that together now, or is
we already have, we're just going to use the existing one that we put out.
Can I
last
get a copy of that, please?
Sure.
So could you explain unit pricing and what it entails?
What we did is we put out a bid, and we referenced the prior years of concrete that we did to give them an idea of how much concrete work that we do per year. So, the more concrete work, the better price you're going to get. So what we did is we just based it out on square footage. Instead of, we're going to do these roads, we based it out on, give your best price per square footage. So we can do as many roads that the money allows us to get, because we get money from the state, and we don't even know how much we're getting all the time. Plus, they give us additional checks when there's a fund balance that are unexpected that we get. And it has unit pricing for the roads, plus incidental work in the roads, the curb, the catch basins, handicap walks, things like that. I think there's 2 pages of unit pricing for different things that have to do with concrete work. Sidewalks, there's 4-inch, there's 6-inch, there's 8-inch, there's 9-inch, and we got unit pricing for all of those. And this contractor was the cheap, the low bid for those unit prices for the majority of work that we do, which is panel replacement. And some of the other work, like handicap walks, for instance, and curbs, that's kind of incidental to the concrete work that they're doing for panel replacement. And we added those in there because the prior contract didn't have those incidentals, so when he came across something, like if he tore out a piece of curb, I'm just using this for example, when he did a panel replacement, we didn't have even a price for that curb.
Right.
So we had to negotiate with them, or get another contractor who out to bid. This was an all-inclusive unit price contract, so we can continue to move on as quickly as possible to get as much work as we can get done with a good price.
Can you send that to all of us?
Absolutely.
So basically, this is just, the contractor basically is, you said we extended the contract?
Yes, for
Okay. For
for
this
1 year.
particular company, or were there three on that?
No, we only did it for this one particular company, it's on the extension.
Okay.
Any other questions? Okay, number 18 is